Good morning, hello beautiful, and thank you for clicking on today's video. So as you saw by the title, we are going to be decluttering the entire downstairs of my house. What you may or may not know is that this is actually part 2 to a whole house declutter I attempted to film last week. Last week I attempted to declutter my entire house in like 45 minutes. What was I thinking? I talk way too much for that. But I got the entire upstairs of my house decluttered, and now we're going to be doing the downstairs. So if you want to check out part 1, if you're really into declutters, you really like seeing somebody over explain the process, you can go ahead and check that out. It's going to be linked in the description box down below. Just a quick recap on what we did upstairs. We have 3 bags plus that. And just in case this is the very first video of mine that you are ever clicking on and ever watching, hi, my name is Jennifer. I make content centered around minimalism, lifestyle, healthy living, declutters, organizing, etc. You can check the playlist on this channel if you want to see a little bit more of what I'm about, but please subscribe if you're not already to not miss out on future content. Additionally, quick explanation, my declutters are not as beautifully filmed as some declutters you may find here on YouTube. I prefer to really talk to you like you are my best friend, really walk you through entirely what my mindset is, really kind of mull over things, etc. So today's video is probably going to be long, and that's because I talk a lot, but these are the declutters that I tend to like to watch on YouTube because they become more motivating for me when I can kind of hear somebody's process. So that's what I film. If you want a more polished video, there's going to be a few linked in the description box down below. Otherwise, let's get chatty. So I'm pretty certain that downstairs is going to be a lot easier than upstairs because we don't have a lot of stuff downstairs because we were waiting until we redid our floors to get like furniture. We're furnishing slowly. So this will probably be quicker than the last video, but we shall see. By the way, the floors downstairs are done. Let me show you. These are the floors. They're like a brown gray, so they're somewhere in between a gray and a brown because I know gray is kind of going out of style, but we wanted something neutral. We still need baseboards. But yeah, my husband did a great job, I think. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start at the back door and work my way towards the front door. And then also, I just decided, because there's not a lot to do here on the main level, I'm also gonna try and fit the basement declutter into today's video. Okay, so starting off, we have this closet here. And when I did the upstairs declutter, we were still doing the floors, so there was dust flying everywhere. So everything in this closet was actually upstairs in my guest room, so I've already gone through this. So this is all good. I'm gonna just close this. If we turn around, we have a bathroom, and then this area is currently acting as storage for all of the little decorative items that we're eventually going to be putting on bookshelves that belong right there. So this, we might be able to get some things decluttered, but it's a little bit hard for me to determine what I want and what I don't because I haven't decorated the space yet. So we'll see what we can do there. Let's start in this bathroom. This is also pretty minimal, hello. And then under here, it's almost like I'm a minimalist or something. We got toilet paper, baby wipes. This is a sign that I put on the back of the toilet when we have our Russian guests staying with us because European toilets, they like, I don't know how to explain, they're different. And with European toilets, you really just have to like, boom, done. And we found that the toilet was getting clogged quite often when we had Russians visiting us. So I put that there now so they know to like hold it down. But I don't need it up all the time because Americans are used to American toilets. Here I have an extra towel. I have 2 because one will be in the wash and then that one will be hung up. And then these are sort of like junk towels. If anything spills, if the toilet overflows, whatever. And they just get kept there. So that's pretty good, pretty boring. Okay, so starting off, this is sort of the best angle that I could get. We have this box under here, which is for an air fryer that I just got. I've been wanting an air fryer for so long and I finally got one, but I haven't tested it out yet, so I want to make sure it's operational before I get rid of the box in case I need to return it. These are some flashlights that we got with a friend. We're going to split up the pack. It's from Costco, so that's there so that we can do that tonight when he comes over. I don't know what this is. I think it's a filter for my husband's shop vac. That's my husband's. This desk sort of, because it doesn't have a purpose yet, because we don't have adequate furniture, it's just sort of become a catch-all for like my husband's tools when he's actively working on a project. So it's probably going to be a theme. So going into here, I have 2 photo books that I got from Shutterfly I had made. I want to put these on a bookshelf, but I don't have a bookshelf yet. So for right now, they're kicking in here and they're both going to be kept. This is a gift we got from Amazon in a gift bag. And I like to keep these for Christmas so that I can have reusable bag options. It's a little more eco-friendly. So I'm going to save this, but I'm going to move it to where it belongs in the basement. This is the plug for our vacuum, our stick vacuum when it needs to be plugged in. We just plug it in here, so that's going to be kept. This appears to be garbage, so that can be gotten rid of. Oh, you want to know what? No, it's not. It's a return that I was supposed to do many months ago that I guess I probably can't return anymore. So these are brackets for the garage, and they need a specific thing to bracket onto that we don't have. I thought they could just be drilled into the wall, but they can't. So I'm pretty sure we don't need these anymore because we have found solutions since wanting to return these. So I'm going to ask my husband, but these can probably be donated because I missed the return window, which is rare for me, but it happens. Then we have pens, which don't belong here. They do belong somewhere else along with these sticky notes. They go in the kitchen. So I'm going to move these to the kitchen. And then these are adhesive backs that were for mirrors that we made that are in our hallway, which I will show you when we get there. I don't know if I need these anymore for any future projects. I can't foresee these being a better option than like wood glue or something. So I think I'm going to put these in the donate to a school basket, and maybe a teacher can figure out some sort of a craft project to do with these. More nails, both of which can go into the garage. And more screws, both of which can go into the garage. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is just from projects getting dumped here. So that's it for this drawer. A bunch of stuff I have to ask my husband about. Drawer number 2, tape I keep here because I package boxes when I'm mailing stuff out here. So I keep one here and then the other upstairs with the office stuff. So that's going to be kept. And this drawer is entirely light bulbs because I don't have a bin in the garage yet for light bulbs. And then this is the wall mount for our vacuum, which eventually we're going to be putting up. So that'll be kept. Light bulbs, fairly certain all of these we need with the exception of these tulip ones. These tulip ones go to fans that we no longer have. We have since replaced. We may be giving those fans to a friend, however, so I'm going to put these with those fans, whether we give them to him or we sell them. It'll be good to have the bulbs with the fans, so these are going to move. Okay, so I just took those bulbs out. The rest of these bulbs we use. This is a cover for an Ethernet cable that used to be in the kitchen, but we covered up that hole with the backsplash, so I don't think we need this anymore. And then at the bottom here, I have this little foam thing that held the 3 light bulbs that we have on our pendant lights in the kitchen, but we don't need to keep this. So, not the best way to store light bulbs, but it works for now. Hello! So the very last thing is up here. This is sort of knickknacks mixed with things that ordinarily would go in the garage, but they can't because they need to be like temperature controlled. So this is going to be tricky because, again, I haven't decorated yet. So I'm not sure how much damage we're going to do here, but in a future declutter, it'll probably be more. This is the charger for our lawnmower, and this is the charger for my husband's, I think, power drill. They're both batteries, so they can't be in the garage in the summer or winter because it's too hot / too cold. Wood glue also needs to be temperature controlled. And then grout sealer, I assume also needs to be temperature controlled because that's like my husband's stuff. citrus strip I wanted to put in that drawer, but it's a little bit too tall. So all of this is gonna stay here. I think eventually what I want to do is have bins here for like this type of stuff that has to stay indoors. Next, I have these little, they were marketed at the dollar store as pencil holders, and they have like a silicone little sticky back. What I intend to do is spray paint these gold and then put them up on the wall in this bathroom right here as like a plant propagation thing. So there's going to be some of these on the wall that are gold. That project hasn't happened yet, but it will soon. I am not the type of person that has a bunch of projects that never get done. They all do eventually get done, or I declutter them. So this project will get done. These are 5, you can't see, let me. These are 5 pictures of either my family or my husband's family. These are all going to end up on those bookshelves. That's going to be a running theme with this cabinet. So all of those photos are going to be kept. I have a horseshoe that I want to hang above this door once my husband, we're replacing the baseboards and also the door frames. So once that door frame is replaced, I'll put this horseshoe above that door. So that's going to be kept. And then I have this old camera that was my mom's and now it's mine, and it's going to be kind of a cool vintage piece on a bookshelf. I am a minimalist, but I do like having some decor. So this is going to be part of that some of the decor. And that covers this bottom shelf. Let me go ahead and put everything back and we'll move up. Moving up, I have black nail polish, which we've used on like screws, and this is like not nail polish, it's like a tool. So I'm going to keep it down here with the rest of the tools. This is a teeny tiny little plant pot that I spray painted to match the decor that we were going for. However, I do think that this plant pot is just a little bit too small. I can't imagine anything growing in here for more than like 6 months before it had to be moved to a bigger pot. So I am going to declutter this. Let me put it down with the rest. These 2 bowls are going to be for plants, but I don't want to get more plants until I have places to put the plants. So there's that. I will do another declutter once my house is fully furnished, and it'll probably be more satisfying. All right, and then going up to this top shelf, you can't see, and that's okay. I have a couple of astronomy books that are vintage, and I really like vintage astronomy books because specifically astronomy, science in general, but specifically astronomy changes so frequently that some of these books that are even just from like 10, 15 years ago have a lot of outdated information in them, which I find interesting. Like, you know, Pluto being a planet versus not being a planet versus being a planet again. And that's just one example of many. So I have a few of those. I have a Russian version of Scrabble that my friend's mom mailed to me. My husband is Russian and Ukrainian. I'm learning Russian slowly. So she sent me that Scrabble set, which I think is very cool. I have the wedding cake topper that was for my wedding that I intend to put on one of these bookshelves as decoration at some point. Okay, so let me show you what we've done. Okay, so in here I have a bunch of small things that either need to move or I have to talk to my husband about before getting rid of. So that's here. These I'm 99% sure are going to go to the thrift store. And then this is the stuff that needs to either move or be decluttered, or in this case, thrown out. So not as much as I was thinking, but still pretty good. Moving on to this main room here, as you can see, it's pretty empty. So starting off, I'll start in this corner. This is the stand for the TV that we just mounted to the wall that I know my husband's going to want to keep. We just need to move it into the basement. This is an empty box, which eventually will hold some things and be put on the bookshelves that we don't have yet, along with that light eventually making its way to the bookshelves we don't have yet. These lights, this is something that's eventually going to go outside in our backyard, but my husband was working on that project last week and hadn't finished before Monday hit, so I imagine by this weekend this will be handled. This is my couch. The only thing in here is one pillow, one blanket, and some slippers, so all of that's going to be kept. yoga mat and yoga blocks. I like to do yoga or stretching while watching TV. So that's there for now until I can have a cute aesthetic home for it. I'm thinking like a basket or something here to hold that stuff eventually, but again, not really a top priority right now. Coasters, have used and will use them all. Let's move on to, by the way, we are changing the framing around the fireplace. That's why that looks like crap. Let's go ahead and move on to here. Starting off with drawer number 1, this is my husband's PlayStation stuff, so that's gonna be kept. Coming into here, I have some seed starter pack. This is for a garden station that's like tiered, and you only have to water it in the center and then it waters all the plants for you. That's something that I want to actually get set up for this coming spring. So this is for that. I'm going to pull it out and put it on the kitchen counter so that I can actually like learn how it works. Next in this drawer, and similar to that space back there, this drawer has stuff that eventually won't be in this drawer. It's here because there's not another place for it at this time. But eventually this is gonna get replaced, and the only stuff that's gonna be like in whatever we replace this with is probably gonna be board games. So speaking of board games, Ticket to Ride, great game. I would recommend playing it when you have at least 4 people. Let me go ahead and back this up a bit. That way you can actually see me without me hunching over. Okay, next in here I have I Spy, which I consider a game. It's just like a game that I play solo, so that's good. And then in here I have an adult coloring book, and my last declutter, whole house declutter that I did was like, I think between 8 and 12 months ago, and I had mentioned that I go on and off with this coloring book because sometimes I'm really into it and sometimes I'm not. And I haven't been into it for like 8 to 12 months. It's not something that I gravitate towards, so I think I am going to give this to a school. And in here I have PlayStation games, which are not mine to declutter, they're his. Next in here, there's a cord for, I think this is a cord to charge his PlayStation controller, so that'll be kept. I have 2 tablecloths. These were bought when we had friends living here that had a small child, and when she would color on the table, the color pencils would often make their way onto the table. So we started getting tablecloths to cover the table for when she's coloring so that it doesn't ruin our table. She moved away, so I don't know if I have a use case for these anymore, so I'm gonna put them in a maybe pile, because I feel like there are other kids that exist in our lives that might have that same problem, so that's gonna be a maybe. Stickers were also kept for her, like kids stuff. So I'm gonna take all of these stickers, which is like kind of a bunch of stickers, and put them in the donation for the school, because I'm not intending on having kids anytime soon, and I don't need to keep that in the meantime. Same with this coloring book. This is for kiddos, and I am not a kiddo, so donation to school. Then I have a bunch of chopsticks that I kept in here for plant stuff. I'm gonna move this to my plant stuff bin in my garage, because chopsticks can hold up small plants as they're growing, so kept those. Then I have this little bag, which is for reusable straws, and I was actually just about to buy something for this purpose. I'm glad I'm doing the declutter today. I keep reusable straws in my car, but then they rock around in my glove compartment and get dirty, and I was gonna buy like a pencil pouch for that, but it looks like I don't need to. I have a solution. So that's gonna get moved. This is a crocheted bracelet that came as a free gift with a purse that I had purchased from a seller out of Ukraine. And I don't need this. I kept it, I think, as like a fidget toy for my husband, but he doesn't like it, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Little small black pouch. I don't know what it's for, but I don't need it. This is a plastic piece that holds all of the strings for the blinds together. It's an extra. I don't need it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And then this is a holder for the remote. Ugh. This is a holder for the remote that controls our fan, which I want to hang on the wall, so we're gonna keep. So let me put this all away and then we'll move on. I have a notebook with some paper that I previously kept to keep score for certain games, but now my husband has an app for that he prefers to use, so that'll be disappeared. Or not disappeared, that'll be, let me see how many pages are actually left. There's like 3 pages left. I'll probably just use this as scratch paper and then recycle the cover. Uno, another good game. Jumbling Tower, which is a knockoff Jenga. It's a fun game, but it's a game that we never like to play inside of our house because as soon as this falls, it has the potential to like scratch the wood of our table or floor. So we never play this because that's the concern when you're like an adult. I suppose we could play it on like my yoga mat, but it's kind of a high maintenance game when you think about it. So I'm gonna get rid of that just because we never play it. So that's gonna be gone. This is a teeny tiny pocket game that we don't even like. So that's gonna disappear. This is a clicker for dog training, which we are getting our dog soon. So that'll be kept. I have a coaster. I don't know what this is for. I think at one point there was a small plant sitting on this coaster, but I don't need that. So that's gone. I have 3 decks of cards, and we do actually need more than 3 for certain games that we like to play, because certain games that we play require like a deck or 2 of cards per person. So those will all be kept. Okay, and this 3rd and final drawer here is more board games. I have Clue, which we like, Life, which we like. It's funny, there seems to be a theme, and you guys can tell me if you play Life. There seems to be a theme with the game of Life that if you don't go to college and you have a bunch of kids, you're more likely to win, which I think is not usually the case in real life. So it's kind of a funny thing we noticed with the game. 5 Crowns. We play this with friends because we have a friend that just moved here who's like here all the time. We play this with him at least like 3 times a week. This is probably our favorite game, 5 Crowns. Highly recommend it. This is a head massager. I don't think we need this. So I'm gonna get rid of that. That's it for here. Let me show you what we got. So this is what we cleared out of there. This is stuff that's gonna be donated, stuff that's gonna be moved. This is maybes. And then stuff that's either gonna be donated or used up. The next section of the downstairs area is here. There's nothing on this table to be decluttered. And there's nothing in this coffee bar to be decluttered. So let's go ahead and move on to the kitchen. So just as I suspected, there's nothing to declutter here. I think once you get your kitchen in like working order and you stop buying things for your kitchen and or being gifted things for your kitchen, it pretty much maintains itself. So I did a declutter of my kitchen in the last whole house declutter I did, and it hasn't grown since then with the exception of like 1 or 2 items. So that's good. In fact, there is something that I want to buy for my kitchen, which is a larger pan, because last time I did this declutter, I got rid of a wok that wasn't like a good wok, and I've had that hole in my kitchen needs since then. But yeah, there's nothing to get rid of here, sorry. Now, this basement is highly disorganized, and that's not what we're doing today. We're not organizing. That is a project for a different day. If you'd like to see a video of how I organize my basement, feel free to leave a comment in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'll just do it off camera. But today is just a declutter, so nobody judge me for my organization. It is a work in progress, okay? Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and pop down. Hello. Like I said, this isn't very organized, but it will be soon. These boxes we were keeping for our friend, along with some bubble wrap because we thought he might need it in his move, but he doesn't because he took all of his crap already that he had in that corner. So I'm going to put this with those boxes. We could keep those boxes for when we next move, but we're not planning on moving for like a decade. So it just doesn't really seem like Maybe we can give them away for free on Facebook Marketplace to somebody who is moving. That's what we did when we moved to California. We got boxes that were like secondhand. So maybe I'll do that. So this basket here, I use in the garage to hold all of the stuff that I sort of pick up throughout the month to declutter and then take to the thrift store all at once. That's kind of a good tip for decluttering. It's good to like maybe seasonally go through your whole house like I am now. But what helps it stay maintained throughout those periods of huge declutters is just as you notice things that you don't need anymore or you're not using, put them in a spot in your garage, and then once the, basket gets filled up, take it to the thrift store. So it's kind of like a weekly practice, if you will. So this needs to go upstairs for that. But for right now, I'm going to use it to hold anything that I'm decluttering. Ah, it's a dog. That scared the hell out of me. Being in the basement's kind of spooky. Okay, I have this cardboard box that came with a knife that I was sent for a potential sponsorship that I decided to not take because the knife I didn't think was very good. I'm going to recycle this cardboard box. I think I had an intention to use it in a drawer as a drawer organizer, but I don't have a need for that, so that'll be gone. I'm going to really quickly organize my prep stuff and actually put it onto the shelf, and I think that'll make this go a little more seamless. So give me like just a second. Welcome back, and I am now dirty and sweaty. Okay, so I'm going to bring you in, actually, that's fine. So the way that I organize this is I put water on the bottom, food on the second shelf. This is supplies, so, you guys may or may not know this about me, but one thing that I am certainly not a minimalist about is like safety preparation / camping gear, because they can be kind of one and the same. So I have a lot of preparation gear for natural disasters and also other types of disasters. And that kind of goes hand in hand with camping gear, because in the event that like everything went to shit, we would be essentially camping. Perhaps in the basement. Alright, next I have here a box of soon-to-be baby stuff. So I have my old baby blankets that my mom crocheted for me, along with some wooden puzzles and cloth puppets that I bought last year on Facebook Marketplace right around Christmas time. So I'm going to put these up there with the other baby stuff. This was the old shower curtain we had in our bathroom before we replaced it with the ones that go floor to ceiling. And I kept this in the event that we ever turn this house into a rental and we needed something like this. However, that's like a very future goal that may not even come to fruition. Money, inflation, all of that. It's like a hope in the one day stratosphere. So in the meantime, I don't think this is really sensible to keep, especially because most people, when they move into a home, they want to decorate the bathroom how they want to decorate the bathroom. So, I'm not going to keep this shower curtain. I'm going to declutter it. And then this was the old pole for the towel bar in the guest bathroom, which we have since replaced with hooks. And this is not really our style. I don't think we need this. I'm going to talk to my husband before officially getting rid of it, though. Okay, next I have this Christmas ornament that I don't like. It sheds glitter everywhere. I tried to put it outside this last year, and they just kept blowing away in the wind, so that's going to be gone. I have ornaments, which I must have gotten after I put my Christmas stuff away, so they're out. They'll be found a home in a minute. These are amazing. If you have a problem with pests in your house, whether it's spiders, bugs, rats, whatever, these are like plug-in bug detectors, or not detectors, but plug-in bug repellent. You plug them in and they emit a frequency similar to like a dog whistle that humans can't hear, but it makes the bugs not want to come in. Not all. I've still seen an occasional spider or two, but I don't have to pay for pest people to come to my house every month because of these. I'll leave a link down below in the description box, but these are amazing. They say on the site that you need one per every like 400 square feet. I find that not to be true. Similar to Wi-Fi, if it's hitting a wall, it's less like good. So I have these like everywhere. And then I have these 2 extra ones that I'm going to put actually on the outside of my house, because I've been noticing some critters making homes near the gutters. So I'm going to plug those in, but these are amazing. If you have a dog, be careful with these because sometimes the frequency of these can make your dog sick. So if you have a dog, talk to your vet about like the protocol before getting these. And then a Christmas tablecloth. This is the only one I have and the only one I need because we only have one table. So I actually got that secondhand somewhat recently. Hey, quick note from editing me. I did want to let you guys know that I am intending to organize that Christmas stuff in the near future because today I for the most part, lightly went over it. I didn't go through every single item like super detailed except for maybe the ornaments. So if you want to see like an additional second pass declutter and organization once I get all of that organizational stuff in my hands, let me know and I'll make that a video for you guys. Thanks. Okay, so now I have my actual Christmas boxes and it looks like a lot of Christmas decorations. It's actually not. I'm pretty minimal with the Christmas decorations. It's mostly just the tree, ornaments, garland, the table setting, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's minimal, but it's enough to make the house feel very festive. But the way that it's currently organized in these boxes is taking up way more space than it ought to. So it's gonna seem like a lot, but it's not. Like, for example, in here, all that's in here is lights for the tree. And then also some oats, because for the children that live in the neighborhood, I make reindeer food, which you make with oats and biodegradable glitter, so that you throw it on the lawn, the reindeer get to eat while Santa's doing his job. These, I think, don't need to be in here, because I always have oats in the house. So I'm going to move these with the food. Okay, and then all that's in here is the lights that we use for the tree, so that's going to be kept. Again, I'll organize this better later, but this is literally just lights. So that'll just go right there for now until I have a better way to organize that. Then I have more Amazon gift bags that I reuse every year for gifts. Because it's less wasteful than wrapping paper, so these will be kept, but I want to put them in a box once I have a box for Christmas stuff. So, moving on, box number 2. Ooh. So in here is the Christmas village that my husband and I put out for Christmas. This is actually why we can get away with having minimal Christmas decorations, is because instead of having like a bunch of small nicky nags, we have like a couple of big setups. So we have the Christmas village, the Christmas tree, the big thing on the table, the big garland on the fireplace, and that's about it. So Christmas village, I have, I believe, 6 houses for the Christmas village, and they exist in these boxes, which one day will be better organized, but for now they're being kept. They were my mother's, and I don't hold a lot of sentimental attachment to most things, but I do for those. Next, the only thing in this box here is a little booby light. This I don't think would be advantageous to sell. I don't think they're worth enough to take the time to sell it. So I'm going to donate it to one of those thrift stores that specializes in like home. And then this, and this, they're all fans. We replaced every light fixture and fan in our house. These are what I was talking about that either our friend Vladimir is going to take from us or we're going to sell on Facebook Marketplace. I'll add this to that box. And then the last are these 2 green bins. This green bin is empty. I am going to keep this green bin because when I come down here to organize, I'm going to, instead of having cardboard boxes, have plastic bins. So that'll be kept, but it's literally empty. And this one, oh, it's not empty. Not empty, certainly. Oh, okay, so in this one, I have more gift bags. And then I have Christmas books. It was a tradition in my house when I was younger for my mom to read us books on Christmas Eve, so I have a few books for my collection and my future kids. That is it, seemingly. So this box is all stuff that's going to be kept and eventually reorganized into all of this. So that looks like it's going to be it for the basement, with the exception of these ornaments that I'm about to take upstairs. We had a casualty as I was putting stuff away, this candle completely shattered. It's an electric candle. And it's like a material that it's gonna look really bad if I put it back together, so I guess this is now being e-cycled because it's an electronic product. So this is all the stuff that is either being decluttered or moved to a different location from the basement. We are on the very last leg of this declutter, and then we'll be done with the entire house, and the only thing left to do would be the U-Haul to get all the random like construction crap out of the house, and then also taking all this stuff to its designated drop sites. So that's exciting. Happy spring. Oh, I'm sweating. You can tell my makeup is just melting off my face. So this is ornament box number 1. I have bags that I reuse for Christmas gifts along with tissue paper that I reuse. It may not be the most minimalist to hold on to this stuff, but it is eco-friendly. So sometimes you just have to like split the difference and do what works for you. And that's what works for me in my heart. So now I have ornaments. What you need to know about my ornaments is that my mom was an ornament collector from like Hallmark. And every situation had an ornament that was purchased every year. So each kid got an ornament, the family got an ornament, etc., etc. So a lot of my ornaments have meaning behind them. They're not just like random like glass balls. So we'll see how well I do. Number 1 is a Beanie Baby ornament. I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile. The next one is Barbie. My mom was a collector of the Barbie ornaments, and I'm not gonna be getting rid of any of the Barbies, mostly because I like Barbie. This is another gift bag, and this one is like for a gift card. So that'll be kept, good for white elephants. This is a past family ornament. We get one ornament to represent the family and the year every year. This was for 2020, so it's my husband and I, and a little coronavirus to represent the year of 2020. This is a lot harder for me than I thought it was going to be. I have this wooden stocking that my mom made in 1999. Keep. I have these kissing little stuffy ornaments that I'm going to keep. Bell ornaments. I don't know. These are a maybe. I'm going to put these in the maybe pile. Because the thing is, this is going to sound dumb, but I want to have some ornaments that aren't fragile or like the most special. So when my child one day is helping me decorate the tree, it's not like everything is breakable. So yeah. This is a little snowman, and this was an ornament that my mom gave me, but I'm not sure if it has any significance. And depending upon how many ornaments we keep, I will either keep or pitch this one. Just depends. If I'm keeping not very many and I need more to like fill up a tree, it'll be kept. If not, it'll be pitched. Our family is like fudge sweet with a few nuts. That'll be kept. And then the rest of these are in boxes, which makes me think that they're some of the like more special ones. These I love. These are porcelain horses that my grandma collected for us as grandchildren, thinking that one day they would like go up in value. They did not, but I still like them. These are some of my favorite ornaments. New home, 2016. I did not buy my house in 2016. We bought it in, you know what, this must have been when my husband and I first moved out into our first apartment. So that's what this ornament is from. Is it even in here? It's not even in here. It must have been wrapped. I want to get like an ornament thing. I'm not going to keep the box. A lot of people keep the Hallmark boxes for when they one day sell the ornament, but this one's like a sentimental one. So I'm not going to be selling it. So I'm going to get rid of that box. This is another Barbie. Another Barbie. Another Barbie. Barbie's staying. More Barbie, and more Barbie. Okay, so Barbie's staying, we already discussed. And We're gonna put all of these ones that I know I'm keeping back, and then we'll move on to the next box and some of those maybes. I have a Kirkwood foam finger. Like 4 years ago Christmas, or New Year's maybe, I was in Lake Tahoe snowboarding with my husband and some friends, and I got a concussion. And while I was in the medical center at Kirkwood, they gave me this. So this typically goes somewhere on our Christmas tree every year. That'll be kept. I have a bunch of these plastic ones that I got from the dollar store. And these I don't typically put on the tree. I put in some sort of a vase as a decoration on the bookshelves. However, I don't think I'm gonna be doing that anymore because I don't really wanna like take off everything from the bookshelves and put a bunch of Christmas stuff on. I would rather just have like a red candle, a green candle. Like I'd rather keep it more minimal and like less work overall. So I am gonna get rid of all of these plastic dollar store ornaments. Give me just a second here. Plastic dollar store ornaments are now in a pile, and I'm actually gonna ask our friend Vladimir if he wants them because he has no Christmas decorations whatsoever and he just bought a house. So now I'm thinking he's probably gonna want some. Next, I have this cute little candle holder that my mom gave me. And I used to put this in the bathroom as bathroom decoration. We only decorate the main level of the house and the staircase banister, like basically where people can see. We don't decorate the upstairs at all. It's just too much effort, and you can still get that Christmas spirit with it just being the main level. Anyway, I used to put this in the bathroom, but I actually think that this particular item is kind of small. And then it would need to be paired with other small things, and I would rather have either nothing or just a candle or something larger in the bathroom so that it doesn't look knick-knacky, it looks more like intentional. So my mom gave this to me, but she gave me most of my Christmas stuff that I have a lot more sentiment around than this. This wasn't purchased for any specific reason, it was just some overflow Christmas stuff she had and tossed my way. So I'm going to give this to the thrift store and hopefully somebody else will pick it up and love it far more than me. Or maybe that can go to Vladimir actually. I think that would make my mom happier if it went to like a friend rather than a thrift store. I have ornament hooks, which I seem to need every year. Even when I get a hook on every single ornament, they somehow disappear by the time Christmas comes back. This is an ornament that was given to us, or no, we bought to represent 2020, the year we were supposed to get married. We bought this early. We bought this in 2019 for 2020. We didn't get married in 2020 because of the pandemic, so that's kind of funny. This is a little Santa, ho ho ho. That's gonna go in the maybe pile. This is my favorite ornament, and it was my favorite ornament when I was a child as well. I'm so grateful my mom gave it to me. The little hook fell off where it's supposed to go. But they're porcelain little reindeer. I think the reason it's my favorite is because it's kind of unique, and it's like a bell, but not a bell, you know? Christmas is sort of where the bulk of like my sentimental stuff comes from, but it all gets put out. So it's kind of like I get to have those memories come the holidays. They don't just sit in a box sort of indefinitely. So all of that's going to be kept. With the exception, I think, of this one. I bought this last year at a thrift store, and it's very, very cute, but it is so fragile. And I'm saying that in comparison to literal glass ornaments. These little pine cones get smashed. They're like real pine cones. They get smashed so easily. So it's too much for me to deal with. All right, going through these maybes here, there's just a few of them. I have my little jingly bear I'm gonna keep. I have this little snowman I'm gonna keep. I have this ho 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 ornament that I'm going to part ways with. And then I have these musical bells that I am going to keep. So that is it, and that's gonna be about it. So please like this video if you liked it, especially if you like the way that I declutter. It's helpful for me to know, do you guys prefer these type of like long-winded talk through declutters, Or would you prefer if it was like a little bit more curated and like a 10-minute video where I sort of just lightly touched on everything? Let me know, because I do declutters every so often, and it'd be good to know how you guys prefer them to be. So, like I said, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already, and with all of that being said, I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!